It's nighttime in Gulu in northern Uganda, and the dusty roads leading into the town are busy with the patter of tiny feet rushing as if to beat a curfew. They are coming from small villages far and wide, heading to the relative comfort and safety of the big town, running away from a man they've never seen, but whose reputation inspires terror. His name is Joseph Kony, who operates in such secrecy. The only pictures we could find of him was this Polaroid given to us by the Ugandan military. He leads a rebel group that calls itself the Lord's Resistance Army, or LRA, and which claims to base its principles on the Ten Commandments. Kony continues to evade capture after a 20-year war against the Ugandan government, and despite an international criminal court warrant of arrest for him. Around here, the children are simply known as night commuters, leaving their vulnerable villages each evening because the LRA has a reputation for attacking after dark. The night commuters range in age from 5 to 16 years old, poor, frightened, and hungry. Children like 8-year-old Alfred, 12-year-old Anek, and 10-year-old Peter carrying his baby brother Paul on his back. And many, many more, all with one daily goal in mind: just to make it through another night. They know and will soon hear of the sadistic horrors that await them if they are kidnapped. They arrive at one of several shelters in Gulu, exhausted but exhilarated. They've made it through the tough patch. And it's in shelters like this that these children come to every night. Tonight, we understand, there's about 350 of them. This place appropriately called the Noah's Ark Center, where the children come to seek a little comfort, a little care, a little security from what they call the madness right outside these walls. I asked the children how many of them know of someone who's been abducted. Almost every hand is raised.
The rebels come and kill people.
They arrest people and they kill and they destroy our homes.
I asked them how many have family members who've been abducted. Just as many hands are raised. Despite the monotony of coming here every day for the past 3 years, the children know this is the only place they can become kids again, if only for a few hours. But the center is both ill-equipped and underfunded. The only comfort the children get is a canvas roof, a cold, hard floor, and if they are lucky, a blanket. But all they are looking for, it seems, is a place to lie down without having to worry about being the next group of child slaves. And in the morning, they are up early, ready to take the long walk back home to their villages. No breakfast, no shower, no change of clothes. At a rehabilitation center for escapees not far from Noah's Ark, former kidnapped victims gather for a morning prayer session. Many of these girls bearing the physical scars of rape, and the boys the mental scars of torture. Among them, 19-year-old Alice Alabo, who recently escaped from the LRA with her 4-year-old daughter Nancy, a product of rape. Alice shows us the physical scars of her 8 years in captivity. Bullet wounds on her leg, shrapnel scars on her chest. Her younger sister was kidnapped along with her, but she later died in the hands of the rebels. Years as a sex slave to the LRA have left Alice traumatized. But after a while, she warms up, telling us bone-chilling stories of her past, of meeting the elusive Joseph Kony, of how at 12 years old she was forced to become the 12th wife of one of Kony's aides, old enough to be her father, and of how child victims were often forced to do horrible things by Kony's commanders.
One day, the group we were in had just killed about 6 people and proceeded to decapitate them. Then I was asked to light a wood fire using the victims' heads as support, the same way one would use 3 stones. I still have nightmares of their burning hair and brains oozing out of the burning heads. It was horrible.
And if that isn't enough to traumatize a child for life, Alice tells us of the time one of the kidnapped children tried to escape, and Kony made them personally punish him.
We were forced to bite him with our bare teeth as he screamed in pain. We continued biting until he was dead. He took a long time to die, and I can still hear him screaming every night.
As you can imagine, Alice has recurring nightmares. She attends counseling sessions twice a day at the World Vision Center in Gulu. Florence Lacour is responsible for counseling the escapees. Her own daughter was kidnapped and held in captivity for nearly 9 years before she too escaped and eventually returned home. Lacour says the horror stories she hears are a daily reminder of man's inhumanity to man.
Their stories are really horrible. We have had cases of children who were ordered to cook a human being. Said you cut the body into pieces and cook it up. Then they mobilize the village to come and eat the cooked body.
Alice and the other kidnapped victims are allowed to stay here for 45 days. A brief period to adjust before going home. That is, if their home has survived the rebels. As for the others who've managed to evade the Lord's Resistance Army, the tiny feet of the night commuters remain on the move. Jeff Koinange, CNN, Gulu in northern Uganda.